Hi everyone, my name's Kirsty Ward and you are joining me today on my little allotment down in Lincoln, in Lincolnshire in the UK. It is Sunday the 14th of February and as you can see there are actual blue skies now. For anyone that's living in the UK at the moment, I think I've seen that twice this year so far. It has been so miserable. I mean, there's been some dry days, but realistically it's been grey or chucking it down, and honestly it is really getting to me. However, since my last video, my March plot tour, I have made some progress on the allotment, so I'm going to give you a nice little plot tour, show you what I've done, show you the things that I need to still do, but also I'm just going to put some snippets in from last month's video just to show you actually how much some of the areas have come on. And like, as you can see, the rhubarb, one of my youngest rhubarb plants, is growing really well. The season's going okay. Maybe I'm slightly behind just because it seems to be flying by. This year is going so quickly. I have made lots of progress compared to what it was like in January, but as I say, it's slow progress. The weather doesn't help. I'm going to spend a little bit of time on the allotment today, just getting a few little jobs done and caught up. I'm going to go home. I've got some seed sowing to do and some bits to do in like my greenhouse and things like that, and just get that caught up a little bit. And I really need to cut the lawn and scarify and aerate and seed my lawn as well. The jobs never stop. Anyway, I'll give you a little plot tour and then I'm going to take you over to the polytunnel as well to show you how all of the stuff in the polytunnel is growing. And I'm also hopefully going to, when I get down to the allotment maybe this week, get in the polytunnel, finish the other side of the polytunnel off so I can get all of like my cucumbers and peppers and things into their final positions in May, after the risk of the last frost has been in the area. So for me in Lincoln it's normally May time. And also on the other side of the polytunnel where I sowed all of the seeds, the other week I want to sow my next lot of seeds, so I've got like a successional harvest of things like lettuce and spring onions and things like that. Okay, right, I'm going to show you around. If you're really enjoying my videos and stuff, please subscribe, like, and if you've got any questions about my allotment or growing your own or anything that you want to see, let me know, pop it in the comments. I've had a few comments about wanting like a little shed tour and things like that, so I will definitely get those videos done over the next sort of like 4 to 6 weeks and show you a little bit more in depth on my plot. Right, let's get going. Okay, the sun is trying to come out. I filled up my big strawberry bed that I moved and planted all of my strawberry plants back in. They seem to be quite happy. Like, obviously it was slightly a bit longer to get this done than expected, but they are starting to flower, so that's good. A couple of them are looking a bit sad, so they might be better next year. This is my youngest rhubarb plant and that is growing really well. It's sort of taken over my dahlia bed, and obviously this area was all sorted, and actually I'm just allowing the beds to grow how they want to grow, because I sowed quite a lot of like wildflowers last year. I planted loads of like nasturtiums, borage, sunflowers, all sorts of things, and I just let them all self-seed back into the beds and they're all going to grow again. So this area is just going to be just a really nice sort of like pop of colour, lots of flowers, lots of beneficial flowers for pollinators, my strawberry bed, and then my compost bays, which my dad has started to clad so I can get all of my compost bits in. So yeah, this area is sort of done. Now the flower beds in front of my allotment shed are all dug out ready. I basically just need to plant my dahlias into them. So all my dahlia tubers have arrived. I do want to plant them up first. Normally I'll plant my dahlia plants out mid to end of May, because the risk of frost here is quite late. So I still have time to plant the tubers up. I'm a little bit late planting them up, but I'm going to put them into some pots at home. So I think I'll do a little video basically showing you all of the dahlia tubers that I've got this year. Lots for the allotment. I've also got lots for home, and I'm building some more borders in my garden. So I definitely think I should show you what I'm doing there as well. But yeah, that's all ready to go. But I'm really excited to show you the next bit. Actually, no, that was a lie, not the next bit. This bed. It's so bad, like it's the worst thing ever. I've done so much digging and weeding and stuff in the beds over there that I've had to kind of dump it on here because my wheelbarrow broke, and also I just didn't have enough room in the compost bins because the compost bins weren't ready. So all of this needs basically like putting into the wheelbarrows, into the compost bins and sorting out. And then what I'm going to do is layer this whole bed in some thick cardboard and thick compost and use it as a no dig bed. I don't know what I'll be planting in it this year yet, but it definitely needs sort. Now, I'm not trying to be smug or anything, but this does look pretty good. I mean, I feel like you've all been waiting to see some actual progress, and this is it.
And just in case you've forgotten how bad it was, this is what it looked like before. So there has been a lot of work done on these beds.
So I concentrated firstly on a really, really big bed and my other biggest bed, and basically like dug and hand weeded as much of the perennial weeds out. So creeping buttercup, couch grass and bindweed are the biggest problems I've got in these beds. So they've all been sort of done that, and then just topped it up with like a thick layer of mulch compost so that there's loads of goodness in the ground. However, I am having a bit of an issue with perennial weeds at the moment. The couch grass, the bindweed and the creeping buttercup are completely like relentless. So the aim for me is to keep like a gentle hand weed of these beds over the course of the year. Then when we get to the autumn, it's going to be a really, really, really big, heavy mulch included with a big thick layer of cardboard this year. So all of the beds are going to get a big thick layer of cardboard and then a big thick layer of mulch this year, just to hopefully help tackle keeping those perennial weeds back. But it is an issue. They do grow really quickly, especially over the spring when it's raining constantly. But that is what allotment life's about. So, but as you can see, they look amazing and I am so happy with them. I feel like this just makes me feel like I've done so much and I'm very happy with it. So I can't wait to see how these like bare bits of earth look in the next couple of months. They're going to look fabulous, full of plants. This bed is my perennial bed. I think I told you about this a couple of times. It has some artichokes in, gooseberries, my cherry, and it used to have some asparagus in. However, the asparagus hasn't been doing well over the past couple of years. So the plan for here was to dig out all of the weeds. So I've done like 3/4 of it. I've just got this little patch left to do here. So I'm going to dig out all of the weeds and really thick layer of cardboard on here. I've started to gather some cardboard, and then I'm going to be adding these bark chunks to the top of the cardboard and like barking it so around all of like the perennial plants. Obviously the cardboard would help mulch and the bark chunks will as well. So I'm hoping it will look really smart. And then what I was going to do was add a couple of raised beds to this area, and then the 2 raised beds are going to have one of them is going to have asparagus in it, so obviously that will be ready to harvest in about 2 or 3 years. And then the other raised bed, probably some more like perennial plants. Don't know maybe whether to do one with like ericaceous soil in it and put some like blueberry plants with some netting on. I don't know, but this area is starting to come to life. Like I say, I've only got this little bit to dig, cardboard it, bark chunk it, and it'll be ready to go. And my cherry tree is flowering. I think I'm going to get loads of cherries this year. I just need to net it properly because the pigeons are a pain. Oh, and also, I don't know if I said last time that my dad had to dig out one of the artichoke plants because there was such a big bramble in, and he kind of like planted it back in, and we've not seen any signs of life. It's just started to grow back. So for those of you that thought it was going to grow back, it has. I'm very happy. So yeah, that's this. Now the last little area is obviously this raised bed area down here. It's really hard to see, but I've actually spent quite a bit of time on this. I cleared all of the raised beds well, except for 2. So not all of them, Kirsty, but I have cleared most of the raised beds out that I need for planting vegetables. They need topping up with compost. I've got loads of compost at home that I need to bring down here and top those up. Obviously I've got my arching. There are lots of like alliums growing already, and like the 2 little raised beds at the front, they've got loads of like alliums and gladioli and stuff like that. So they're all growing quite nicely. I spent so much time on these wood chip paths pulling out all of the bindweed, and within, I don't know, 5 days it's full of bindweed again. There is a huge problem down this side. Now, I just spoke to my dad and we were trying to come up with a bit of a plan. My site isn't very accessible to like getting deliveries of things down here like wood chip or compost or anything, and it makes it really difficult when I'm trying to decide what I'm doing. Now I've got obviously grass paths all around my allotment anyway. So my dad said, why don't we scrape off basically all of this wood chip, because it's been down for a couple of years and it's actually starting to like mulch down and break away anyway, and I can use it on that perennial bed and I can put some in my compost bins, and my dad wants some. So we're going to get rid of it all, and then my dad will probably help me, but going to spend a little bit of time because there's some polythene down here. Like take the polythene off, going to pull out as much of the bindweed roots as we can or whatever, dig out the brambles, dig out the big bits of couch grass. And then I think what I'm going to do is actually grass seed it, so that all in between my beds it's nice grass paths, because the grass paths that are on the allotment are full of bindweed, they're full of couch grass, they're full of all sorts of things, but when you keep cutting it they look really nice. And I just think at the moment there's so much couch grass and bindweed growing through these wood chip paths that they're almost looking green anyway. So that is the big plan. Now, I haven't got time to do it yet, but I was thinking if I get these beds topped up with compost, I need to sort out my fig tree. My last big thing on the plot is to basically clean out my greenhouse. I need to remove everything, clean all my greenhouse down and put everything back. That will only take like a few hours one day, hopefully soon. Maybe this week, maybe next week. But that will be this area done except for the wood chip. So I'm thinking if I can get all those little jobs finished on this area, then I can start focusing on getting all the wood chip up. But realistically, those few other jobs on the allotment, like the perennial bed and that bed that's full of all the weeds, I need to get those done first alongside filling up these beds, because then everything's ready to go. The grass paths or the wood chip paths don't really matter because that's just a visual more than anything. Now, my dad's got a lawnmower he brings down and I've got a lawnmower, but I've also got a strimmer. So I feel like it will actually be really easy to keep the grass looking nice, and it doesn't matter if the weeds are growing through it because you can't really tell because it's just all green. So that's the plan. Anyway, so finish off the perennial bed, finish off that weedy bed that's full of all the stuff that needs to go in the compost bins, sort my greenhouse out. Those 3 are the main jobs, so then I can start like building structures, sowing seeds, planting up, and then make this into some grass paths. Anyway, you're going to have to let me know what you think of my plan. Let me know what you think of the plot. Obviously it's looking much better. Still loads to do, but that is the joys of having an allotment. Anyway, let me know what you're up to on your allotments and in your garden, what jobs you're doing. There are so many jobs to do in April and May. It's almost like you can't think. I always find that March, April and May just go so quickly because there's so much to do. Anyway, I hoped you've enjoyed my plot tour. Please like or subscribe or comment on my videos. It's great to hear from you all, and I will be back with a update of my allotment for May, but I'm also going to do some little videos in between. Oh, I forgot to show you the polytunnel. Oh, I'll quickly show you the polytunnel anyway, but yeah, I hope you're proud of me because I love how my allotment's looking at the moment. It's looking great, and the apple trees and the cherry tree and the plum tree are all in flowering, and hopefully should get lots of fruit off them this year. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I'm going to show you the polytunnel now. I nearly forgot to show you the polytunnel. Anyway, so the first 2 beds that we sowed some seeds in, they're all growing really well. So we've got lettuce, beetroot, radish, rocket, spring onions, spinach, some more radish, carrots, and then obviously the shallots. This bed's ready, so I'm gonna sow some seeds into this next one, and then I need to clear off the stuff off those 2 still to then top them up with some fresh mulch and compost so I can sow some seeds in those. But the first bed is growing really well. I'd say like some of the radish aren't actually far off being ready. They are growing super fast. Over on this side, I told you that I've got a peach and a nectarine tree, and I think they were flowering last time I was filming. Well, they've all pollinated. I did hand pollinate them, and there's lots and lots of nectarines and peaches growing, so I'm really excited about that. And then my dad's actually, instead of building a bench at the back, he's just put up an old like table, so all his seedlings are growing on there. So basically all I need to do is, I've got some raised beds that I need to move back to my plot, a bit of rubbish in here that needs sorting, it's been a bit of a dumping ground, and then move the peach and the nectarine tree. I'm going to have like one at each end of the polytunnel in here so that they grow really well over the season. There's this old stand. The plants on it are going to go onto that bench at the back and just get rid of this plant stand out the way, and then it should open up all that side. Now I really hope this hasn't got a spider on it. I'm so scared of spiders, honestly. So I literally had a heart attack about a spider this weekend. That's what's making me laugh. Anyway, that's beyond the point. Right, these are grow bags. Now most people grow like potatoes in them and stuff, so I'm going to be growing potatoes in them this year. I'm going to be growing some carrots in them, but I'm actually going to use these bags all along the side to sort of make basically for planting in, rather than using buckets, because I just find the buckets dry out so quickly, and when you're growing things like cucumbers and herbs and tomatoes, peppers and that, you don't want them drying out that quickly. I mean, chilies aren't too bad, but not peppers and cucumbers and stuff. So I'm actually going to use these bags. Now they're quite big and they're going to run along the side, and I was thinking in them, like what I could do is have a cucumber plant at the back which will grow up the string that's already there, and then at the front, you know, like a little herb plant, and what else was I thinking? And then like a pepper plant. So maybe in the bags like it can fit 2 or 3 things in, because they are big and they are really deep. So I was thinking about filling them quite high. So yeah, that's my plan. But I just got to get set up in here. So I'll definitely do another video over the next, like I say, week or so, about setting up in here and getting it all ready. And then I can do another video in May, because I'll probably wait till May for everything to go out, just like all the plants to establish properly first. Then I'll do a planting out video in here, like planting it all up and getting it all ready and what the setup's like. So yeah, anyway, I'm just really excited about this season. I think it's going to be great. Anyway, thank you for watching my YouTube video. I will bring you hopefully another YouTube video in a week. I won't leave it so long. I say this every time, don't I, really? But I will try not to leave it so long. I hope you have a lovely weekend and week in your gardens and allotments, and please leave me a little comment of what you're up to, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye.